Mm. So this one's a fun one. So next is market research. So for market research, doing a little bit of homework can save you just a ton of time, money, expense, etc., and can really help you improve your business. So for example, there's a couple of them here. I wrote session fees, a niche or a specialty, and your degree. So for market research, I'm going to give you a demo of, we're just going to use a session fee inquiry on Psych Today so that you can see what it is that I do when I'm looking for this market research. So I'm going to get out of my profile. Let's just go to regular Psychology Today. And I'm going to type in a random city. Actually, why not? Let's do Denver since I'm close to that area and it pulls up anyway. So let me just scroll down here to the bottom and see. Okay, so we have quite a few Denver, which isn't surprising, therapists. So I'm going to take it from the top here. I don't know any of these people. I don't know anyone in Denver, so I'm not biased against who these people are. So first of all, just a quick, I'm sure you've seen this. Hopefully you've played around on Psychology Today, but the back and forth buttons are going to be able to switch through therapist profiles without having to go back and forth through the main Psychology Today. So number one, there's some really important things here to note. She's holding telehealth video chats only. It's HIPAA compliant, which is great. Do your clients, are they going to know what HIPAA means? Are they going to know what HIPAA compliance means? Maybe. Maybe not. So just some of those things, it looks like she's bilingual, which is excellent. Makes that very, very clear on her page. But what we're looking for in our market research is a very specific thing here. And it is going to be, went down too far. Mm, that's why, because I didn't even see it. I was looking for a dollar sign and it's not here. Um, in your fees, sliding scale, she says apply if you may be eligible. So what I do when I'm looking at market research specifically for my session fee, I'm going to take a little sticky note here and write down sliding scale. Then I'm going to go over to my next person. Fees, $100 for individual, $100 for couple. I'm only going to do this. You can do it, and you can see that it doesn't take very long. You can do it as much as you want to, as far into this as you want to go. But for specifically, we're just looking at these session fees. So I have one sliding scale, one for 100. I'm actually going to write this down here. So let me get a new sticky. That one's got stuff on it. All right, my first is sliding scale. I'm going to put SS. And then my second one is 100. So this looks like it's a group practice of some variety, and individual session is 130. Perfect. And I'm just going to do individual for now. Nothing. She does not tell me how much it is in that anyway. She may say it somewhere else for this individual, but doesn't look like it. So I'm going to ignore that one because she doesn't give me what I need. Fees 110. Okay. And hopefully you're going to see the method behind this madness, 140. All right, I'm at 5. So I'm just going to do a few more. Oops, a few more here. That was, I think, Ashley. So we're going to look at Samantha next. Let's see fees. Okay, that's really interesting. I don't see this too commonly when I'm looking at the folks in Texas, but nothing on that one. All right, 150. And that's 6. Takes a bunch of insurance, but no fees. 90. And hopefully last, perfect. Ooh, that's a really good example. 225. All right, so I have, actually let me give one more because the sliding scale one was that's not a number. 160. Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do now is come to our trusty calculator when it pops up. And we're going to just put in those numbers: 100, 130, 110, 140, 150, 90, 225, 160. I'm going to then divide that by 8. So the average of all of those providers is 138 and some change. So I'm just going to circle that. You can see, well, if it doesn't disappear on me, I just circled that on my trusty sticky note here. So what this is for me is I am looking at what is the average kind of range for people in my area, in my competing kind of zone for therapists, and how do I weigh what do my fees look like in comparison to the average, to the lowest, to the highest, et cetera. So, for example, when I'm looking at my market research, if I'm in a small area that doesn't have a ton of people, this is a real example. I was looking in a small little town in the hill country. There was about 8 providers, and 7 of them were in the 120 to 150 range, and one of them was 85. So that is nothing against 85. You, do whatever makes sense for you and your business. But what does it, number one, say to the client? Does it say, "Ooh, great, I got a good deal"? Does it say, "Ooh, why is that so low? What's going on with that person? Are they new to the field? Are they green? Do they not have any specialties?" Like what would that look like to clients? And if I'm really, really needing clients at this point, and my average fee, we came to 138 in these quick that I pulled in Denver. If my average is 140 to hit right at the middle, I want to be reasonable, but I don't want to go too much, but I kind of want to be middle of the pack. And I really need people. Maybe I lower my rate temporarily to 120 to try and get more people. In this instance, there would only be 3 that are less than that. The lowest one is 90. If I can afford it, maybe I think about going to 85 or 90. I wouldn't personally. I think I'm worth more than that for my practice, for my experience, and all the things that I bring to the table. But I also am going to look at this 225 person and this 160. These last 2 were the highest too. This 225. So I see just right off the bat, she offers EMDR and IFS. Maybe that's a specialty in this area. There's not a ton of people in my area that offer EMDR or whatever else. Maybe I have a ton more experience or training than the average person in my area. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. But if I, get what you feel like you need, get what you feel like you deserve. And doing some market research is going to say, like, "Ooh, I'm like on the low end of this average. Maybe I could stand to bump myself up 10, 20, $30 for the new people coming in." If I am at 85 and the average person in my area is 150, maybe I go for 150, and then I don't need as many clients. I need half as many because I'm getting double the pay. So when we go back to this market research, doing this for niche, doing this for your degree, putting in like, okay, so maybe on this list, maybe the 3, and that wasn't true because I saw that was an LPC, but maybe the 3 highest people on my list are licensed psychologists. I'm not a licensed psychologist. I'm a clinical social worker. So what would that look like? Maybe I do some research around what social workers in my area are making, because I feel like that might be a little bit of a difference. Or people who have master's degree rather than doctorates, what that does. Maybe I have a doctorate and I want to look at only other doctorates in my area and what they are charging, to just get yourself into a place where you're not operating from really behind the curve or underselling yourself if you don't need to. If you have people coming in and you're doing just fine, maybe you can go up a little higher than this average to really get a higher client private pay rate or whatever else. You also don't have to offer insurance if you don't want to. Some of those, they didn't have fee numbers because of insurance. You get to pick what you list on your site here, and doing just a little bit of this research is going to really be able to change your practice and what you offer.